Up next, we have the Philadelphia and the Jets. I don't know why I call them the Philadelphia.
You got them confused with the Phillies, maybe? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
was gonna call them the Phillies. That doesn't even make sense either. Whole episode's fucked up. I'm done. We're gonna go.
What? No, keep going. Keep it live. Live.
Okay.
Live recording right
Anyway,
now. Go.
um, I got my first thought of them. What's your first thought? I'm gonna tell. I can tell you
My first thought was that both of these teams look like shit. That
that.
was my first thought. I think that was pretty much the consensus. So the if I we did playoff picks last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't usually waver from a playoff pick after one game, but if I could have one back, I would not have picked the Jets for the sixth seed. Like, holy shit!
It,
Maybe I was just believing in their defense a little bit too much. I don't know. I mean, I know Philly does have a potentially high octane offense, so maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked. But they just neither team just
I think this is the game that everyone was waiting for. I was like, when is Philly gonna finally prove that Philly
ugh,
is being Philly? You know,
right.
when are they gonna finally prove that this is the team that we were all like hoping for when the season started, type of thing? Because it's almost like everyone knew it's in there somewhere, but like just lost in the mix. I guess they just finally got some shit together.
They're gonna have to do it to someone besides the Jets to make a believer out of I think anyone
Well,
pretty
yeah,
much.
that's true. That is true. And I mean, if you want to look at some aspects about Philadelphia, uh, Sproles, I think this game definitely proved that he's much better
Sure,
for their offense than what DeMarco Murray has to offer.
right.
Murray, great under the Cowboys, but actually, the first thing I thought of watching this game is you made a statement, I think last week, where you said that DeMarco Murray is overrated because of the Cowboys. I think it's becoming more and more true as
I
the
think I've
season
said
goes
that
on.
every week,
Yeah.
even before we were recording. I wish we had proof that I called him overrated when he was still playing for the Cowboys, and it's actually why I did not think he should have gotten MVP, and he didn't. But because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, DeMarco Murray should have got MVP,"
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, well, no. I'm not, you could put my fat ass behind that offensive line, and I could get fucking a yard at least. Shit, you know, like put me in pads and put me behind the Cowboys' offensive line. I'll get a yard. You know, I mean, they he was behind the best offensive line in in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the best offensive line we've seen at least the entire. I know we're only halfway into the decade, but they look like the best offensive line I've seen since at least 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Going back further, I mean, it's been maybe since the last Cowboys offensive line in the 90s. Like, seriously, they're that good, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and DeMarco Murray, now I wasn't, I'm still surprised, even though I thought he was overrated. Like, he's looked bad, you
Yeah.
know? I
Yeah.
didn't think he was going to look bad. I just didn't think he was going to be the best running back in the league.
And it's really ironic with the fact that they got rid of LaShawn McCoy, who worked for their offense. It worked
Right,
for what they have presented. I mean,
right.
Philly's offensive line isn't really great to begin with,
No.
but LaShawn McCoy can do wonders with it. That's why I'm thinking Darren Sproles is actually a
Right.
great replacement for LaShawn McCoy because he can do the same thing, and he can be a receiving running back. He can be a you know one of the guys who can
He's a
put on
he's
his
a
moves.
he's a speedster
He's
like
a
McCoy
speedster. He's
is. You know.
slippery too. Like he
Right.
can slip through like all these. I mean, Murray is just like he gets the ball and runs forward and just expects that you're gonna make the gap for him.
Murray's more of a traditional running back.
He
He's a
is.
downhill, straightforward,
Yeah.
power through running back. You know.
And I just don't think like he has the power that like maybe Eddie Lacy and Marshawn Lynch have that like even if a gap closes
Uh,
up that Murray's gonna break through it and he doesn't really have that power and
he's not
I
a he's not a power back. He can
yeah
break some tackles, but he's not gonna he's not gonna have the whole defensive line basically jump on him to bring him down. He can be brought down a little bit easier than a Lynch or an Eddie Lacy or even an Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, and I mean, the running still looks pretty good, like all around. For on the flip side, with the Jets and everything, I'm really sad to say this, but I Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard just couldn't save him, and I think that was what was giving him the magic the first 2 weeks, and
Think
it
so.
just wasn't there, and
Think so.
he disappointed me, he disappointed every lumberjack in this whole damn country, and probably Canada too, and they don't even give a shit about football. Well, at least on
I don't.
American football.
Yeah, real football. Anyways, so I think that the Jets, uh, they're in a do or die situation. Same thing as Miami next week.
Yeah.
They need to win to keep their season alive. I know it's like early to say that, but and the Eagles really needed to win this week to keep their season alive.
Yeah,
and they did.
I think they would have started seeing some fans flip cars over in the parking lot if they didn't get a win.
Yeah, Philly definitely has some rough fans. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too crazy because I don't want anyone hunting me down or anything. Philly fans are crazy. But they booed. Was it Michael Irvin or somebody? They got like hurt and their career got ended, and they cheered. Like, God, they're crazy. They're awful people. Awful. But
great city, great cheesesteaks, awful city. Fans.
Yes.
Oh man.
The only stadium to actually have a courtroom system in the stadium. True story. I don't know if that's still. I don't think it's still active, but it used to be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Even more violent than the infamous Raider Nation. Yeah. Philly. Brotherly love, right?
Philly.
I do think that their fans should be appeased a little bit after this week, though.
Yeah. Well, I guess ultimately, all joking aside now.
Okay.
No, don't put joking aside.
I was not fucking joking about it. They're crazy. Crazy.
Do you think this might be a start for Philly? Very rough start from, obviously. We're only a quarter way into the season. Do you think this is where Philly's going to start turning around? Do you think this might be a closer look at...
With Tony Romo hurt, with Dez Bryant hurt, they have an opportunity to bounce back from a bad start.
Yeah.
For sure. So do the Giants. So that whole division outside of the Redskins has a shot at winning that division, I think, right now. Because Dallas is in the lead. They're still the team to beat. Brandon Weeden, even though Dallas lost, Brandon Weeden played great. We'll get to that game. But Dallas is still the team to beat in that division. But while Romo and especially Dez is hurt, as long as Weeden's keeping up his pace, he's shown that Romo, they're not necessarily completely screwed without Romo. But they really need at least Dez. They need that. That's a game-changing receiver, Yeah. I mean, once they get Romo and Dez back, especially, but they need one of them back to kind of solidify their hold on the division. But the Giants are looking better. The Eagles may be getting their shit together. It's going to be interesting down the stretch. The NFC East is always interesting down the stretch, though. It's almost always decided by one game.
They really are, and I think, as long as Sam Bradford stays healthy, first of all,
right.
If he continues to get more of a rhythm, if they really kind of figure out like who they are as a team, even maybe DeMarco Murray might get his shit together, like mid-season, just like all of a sudden just have this explosive game and just like get right back on track. And honestly, even if he doesn't, I still think Darren Sproles, and even Ryan Matthews, I think can take
Yeah,
care. Like,
yeah.
I don't think they even really needed DeMarco Murray on their team. I think it's just that they got rid of LaShawn McCoy and they like just picked up Murray just to shut up people for freaking out. It's like
Well,
honestly,
that, and honestly, even if he doesn't do much for them, at least he's not playing for Dallas, right? From their perspective,
good point. I didn't even think about that.
he took him away from Dallas, who,
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, despite what I said, DeMarco Murray had a very in sync with that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Was aside from the offensive line being that great, he knew that offense. He was good in that offense, and he would have been maybe more productive in that offense, even if the line wasn't as good as it is. Then he's still got to learn the Eagles. Chip Kelly has a very different system. He's got basically a college system that he brought
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Murray, I'm not ready to just jump ship on Murray at this point and say, oh, he's done. It's only been, like I said with Luck earlier in that video, it's only been 3 games. So, everyone has a bad stretch or a slump here or there. So, Murray could bounce back. Who knows? Anyone that tells you that they do know is full of shit. So, I mean,
Uh,
there you go.
Hopefully, we didn't offend too many Philly fans. Maybe they're fucking proud of being the way they are, you know? Like, I mean, Oakland
I think
fans
they do.
are.
I think they do relish in it, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Just a
I mean,
little bit.
Oakland fans definitely do. So, you know what? Keep up your fandom, you know?
Right.
Don't listen to
Right.
us. I mean, do